Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Arrow TV. I am Cam Corey and I'm your host for tonight's AA matchup between the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers and your Watertown Arrows. The sophomore and JV matches just concluded, and the Arrows are looking to avoid any of the sweep here tonight as they face off against the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers. Both teams, as you can see, are on the floor warming up. We have our band playing ahead of time, which we always enjoy, that atmosphere of high school athletics and the arts coming together. So let's first talk about the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers. The Cavaliers consistently play 8 players, but have been known to go a little bit deeper into their bench as well. They are a team that has chemistry and balances very well on the boards and in the scoring department. They have a D1 commit in Jaden Dunn, who is committed to be a Jackrabbit next as when she goes to college. They also have another college commit, Dakota State University commit. Going to be a Trojan down there in Madison is Sierra Watkins. The Cavaliers do shoot 35% from the field and really an amazing 31% from the three-point line, which, folks, is pretty good when we're talking about high school basketball. Defensively, the Cavaliers like to play an aggressive man-to-man defense and make it difficult for their opposing teams to get up the court, get good passes, and get good open shots. Occasionally, we may see the Cavaliers drop back into a man-to-man and then disguise really a trap there at the half-court line. So we'll look to see if they do that tonight and how the Arrows respond. The Cavaliers are led by head coach Tiva Pruitt and assisted by Derek Dunn, Sarah Zerpel, Mark Eisenbry, and Ethan Freeze. The Cavs come in tonight with a 12-2 record and are currently seated second in the AA power poll standings. They are, however, the #1 ranked AA girls basketball team as voted on by South Dakota media. So we have a good team in the Civic Arena visiting your Arrows. The Arrows have played well against some of the state's best teams, and they do play well on their home court. So we look for that to continue tonight. What we do anticipate the Cavaliers trying to do tonight is play an up-tempo game. They like to generate steals that allow for a quick transition into those high percentage baskets. But when that's not available, you're going to see them swing the ball quickly and crisply around that perimeter. They are a team that doesn't have a problem shooting that deep shot. The Cavaliers average 14 steals a game, but are causing their opponents to turn over the ball on an average of 21 times a game. So the Arrows, that's something that they need to recognize and limit their turnovers, because the Cavaliers are good at forcing turnovers. I've already mentioned that the Cavaliers are good perimeter shooters, and they do average making over 6 three-pointers a game. The Cavaliers are led by #3 Sierra Watkins. She is the Dakota State University commit, and #21 Jaden Dunn, and she is the SDSU commit. Let's talk a little bit about the Cavaliers. #1, Aaliyah McGovern-Harrington. She's a 5'5" junior guard. She averages 8 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game, and 2.4 steals per game. She is a 31% three-point shooter. #3, we've already talked about her, a 5'7" senior guard, and Sierra Watkins. She's averaging 13.2 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 2.8 assists per game, 2.3 steals per game, and last year she was a second-team All-Stater. But arguably, she might be, folks, the best defensive player in the state. So look for her to be aggressive and good on that defensive side. Number 4, Cassidy Larson, a 5'4" senior guard. She is averaging 5.6 points per game, 1.8 rebounds per game, 1.5 assists per game, and 1.5 steals per game. She is a 32% three-point shooter. Number 21, the future Jackrabbit, 6-foot junior forward, Jaden Dunn. She's averaging 10.7 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists per game, and 2.6 steals per game. Number 23, Ashlyn Johnson, a 5'6" junior forward. She's averaging 8.9 points per game, 2.6 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game, and 2.6 steals per game. Coming off the bench, number 12, Abby Schultz. She's a 5'7" senior guard. She's averaging 1.5 points per game and 1 rebound per game. Also, the freshman, number 13, Abby Horner. She's 5'9" forward. She's averaging 1.6 points per game and 2.7 rebounds per game. Number 14 is Ella Silvernail, a 5'11" senior forward, and she's averaging 3.2 points per game and 1.8 rebounds per game. So let's talk about your hometown Watertown Arrows, coached by first-year head coach Chad Rohde. He is assisted by Mackenzie Bulow, Stacy Hendricks, and Taya Hemiller. Watertown is coming off of a 49-36 loss down at the Sioux Falls Washington Warriors, and they are rated number 2 in the state, but are at number 1 in the AA Power Points. So a juggernaut of a schedule here for the Arrows. The Arrows come in tonight at 7-7 on the year and currently sitting in that 11th place in the AA Power Points. Watertown averages 47.3 points per game, while the Cavs average 53.6 points per game. Defensively, Watertown gives up 45.6, and Jefferson gives up 40.1 points per game. These two teams have had several common opponents. Of the common opponents, Watertown is 6-6 against those teams, while Sioux Falls Jefferson is 11-2. The team and the common opponent actually that sticks out to me is T-Area. Watertown did defeat T-Area in the Watertown Civic Arena 55-36, while T-Area did defeat the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers 61-55. As we know, and if you've tuned in to Arrow TV, you have seen the Watertown Arrows and how they like to play, and that is an up-tempo game and run the floor. But as I mentioned earlier, so does Sioux Falls Jefferson. Watertown likes to run the floor and play a mix of full court man-to-man defense and zone to create the steals. The Arrows tonight are going to need to remain patient, not get frustrated with the aggressiveness of Jefferson's defense, and really attempt to cut down on the turnovers that Sioux Falls Jefferson is so apt at getting. Offensively, when the Arrows are not in transition, they like to run a pass and cut offense, looking to get the high percentage shots, or they drive and dish out for that three-point look. Watertown is led by 3 seniors. They are number 4, Maddie Rohde, a 5'7" senior guard. She is a USD javelin commit, actually holds the Watertown Arrows school record in javelin. In basketball, though, she is averaging 10.2 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game, and 1.6 steals per game. She is a 33% three-point shooter. The other senior, or one of the other seniors, is number 12, Jada Young. She is a Dakota Wesleyan University commit. Going to go down to Mitchell and play some basketball down there. And she is averaging this year 11.4 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 3.6 assists per game, 2.2 steals per game. The third senior, Kendall Polson, a 5'9" senior forward, and she is averaging 4.3 points per game, 2.8 rebounds per game, and 1 steal per game. Number 5, Emery Thury, a 5'10" sophomore forward, will also get the start tonight for the Arrows. She's averaging 6.4 points per game, 4.6 rebounds per game, 1.7 assists per game, and 1.8 steals per game. The fifth starter is Miranda Falconer, number 14. She's a 5'7" junior guard, and she is averaging 5.2 points per game, 1.5 rebounds per game, and 1.5 assists per game. Coming off the bench for the Arrows is number 24, Jade Lund. She's a 5'8" junior forward, and she averages 4.1 points per game and 2.6 rebounds per game. And number 22, Grace Corey, a 5'6" sophomore forward, who averages 5.1 points per game, 4.1 rebounds per game, and 1.2 steals per game. Also coming off the bench is 5'6" junior guard Addie Johnston. She's averaging 2.9 points per game. And Avery Munger, a 5'11" junior forward, who's averaging 1.1 points per game. We're going to turn it over to the public address announcer, as well as the Watertown Arrow Band under the direction of band director Austin Fordham for our national anthem. Your Watertown Arrow cheerleaders being introduced. They are Erica Andrews, Natalie Benson, Annabelle Brendan, Brooklyn Dahl, Lauren Keller, Mackenzie Lewis, Grace Martinson, Alexis Olson, Gracie Ryder, and Erica Stodham. A warm welcome for public address announcer Sam Mooney, who's doing fill-in duty for Mark Bellum tonight. Very well done, Sam. The stage is set. Both teams coming on to the court. We will have number 21, Jaden Dunn, will be jumping for your Cavaliers, and Emery Thury for the Arrows. Let's get ready. It's time to fly with the Watertown Arrows. Cavaliers do win the tip. Watkins at the top. It's Larson. Watkins and Jada Young do collide. Goes off of Young out of bounds. No, it goes off of Watkins out of bounds. So the Arrows will take possession. Turnover for the Cavaliers. Inbound to Jada Young. Jada's going to get it across that 10-second line. She is aggressively defended by Watkins, as we expected, and turnover is created. So Cavaliers will take back possession. McGovern Harrington is going to be picked up by Maddie Rohde at that center stripe. She goes left perimeter to Larson. Larson looking for help, gives it back to McGovern Harrington. Tries to get it inside to Johnson, and there is a foul called, and they are going to call the Arrows, and I believe that's going to go on Kendall Paulson. That'll be her first foul. Cavaliers get it into Dunn. Dunn facing off against Thury. Nice pick inside. She goes up for the shot, and we're going to have a foul. And they're going to call that foul on Emery Thury. So Jaden Dunn, number 21, the 6-foot junior forward for Sioux Falls Jefferson. She's a 70% free throw shooter. She does miss her first shot. But she gets the second one. So early 1-0 lead here for Jefferson. Rohde aggressively getting it across the court on McGovern Harrington. It's over to Falconer. To Paulson. Paulson tries to get it to Rohde again. McGovern Harrington, that pesky defense, they are quick. We talked about it and how they force these turnovers. And right now in the early going, they are giving a little bit of fits to the Watertown Arrows. So the Arrows will settle down here, and they get a nice feed into Jada. Jada tries to get it inside to Paulson. Turnover. Cavaliers come right back, sorry. And they are calling an offensive foul on Ashlyn Johnson. So Ashlyn Johnson will pick up her first. Sioux Falls Jefferson, a full court press. Rohde tries to get it into Jada. Thury gets it across the center stripe. She gets it back to Rohde. Rohde to Falconer on that right perimeter. Feed inside to Thury. Thury goes up, and she is blocked by Dunn. Does go out of bounds off of Dunn, so the Arrows will maintain possession. Jada Young will inbound on the right side of her basket. She does get it into Thury, back to the point of Rohde. Rohde dribbling out front. She's going to attack the hoop. She goes in and up and two for Maddie Rohde. So nice drive for Maddie Rohde. Jefferson comes right back as we expect them to. That up-tempo game. Three-pointer, no good. And a foul is called. They're going to call Sioux Falls Jefferson with the foul. They're going to call that on number 21, which is Jaden Dunn. Arrows get it in. Rhodey picked up by Watkins. Rhodey does get it across the 10-second line to Thury on that right perimeter. Thury left-hand dribble to Young. Young with the three-pointer, and she's got it. Arrow bullseye. Jada Young. 5-1 early lead here for the Watertown Arrows. Watkins is going to take the three. No good. Long rebound comes down by Falconer. Falconer to Jada Young. Jada's going to push it up the court to Rhodey on that left perimeter. Rhodey is being guarded by McGovern Harrington. Over to Jada Young. Jada tries to get it inside to Paulson. No good. Nice in the paint pass to Larson down low. And the Arrows are going to foul. And I believe that's going to be on Miranda Falconer, and it is. Jade Lund is going to check in. She is a 5'8" junior forward for Emery Thury. Inbound does come in to Watkins. McGovern Harrington with the three. Deep three. She's got it. Arrows push it right back up. Paulson, about an 18-footer, chose to pass up on it, gets it back to Jada. Jada looking for help, gets it to Falconer. Falconer left-hand dribble into the paint. She goes up for the shot, and she does get the roll. Falconer, nice shot. 7-4 here in the early going. Watkins is going to set up the offense. She gets it to Larson at the point. Back to Watkins. Watkins can take the shot. No good. Rebound is going to be by Jada Young. Jada Young's going to push it up the court. Right-hand dribble. She's going to drive right in. Dunn is down there. No good. Jefferson right back. So these two teams are definitely running the court quickly. Down in the paint. Johnson with a nice right hand, no good. Jada Young's going to get the rebound. She's going to push it up the court. Gets it to Falconer on that right wing. Falconer sees Paulson down there just a little bit too high and goes off her fingers out of bounds. So we've got some Arrows checking in. Number 22, Grace Corey. Number 33, Avery Munger. And Emery Thury will be back on the court. Number 14, Ella Silvernail for Jefferson. She's a 5'11" senior forward. She's also checking in, as well as Abby Horner. So Abby Horner, a 5'9" freshman forward for Jefferson. She is in the game, so she had a big JV game, putting up nearly 20 points a game, as did the Arrows' Grace Corey, who is also on the court. She put up about 19, I believe. So they're getting some action in the varsity game as well. Possession will remain with the Watertown Arrows. Jada Young will inbound it. To Corey. Corey right-hand dribble, gets it to Thury on that right perimeter. Thury left-hand dribble into the paint, over to Jada on the left wing. Jada right-hand dribble into the paint. She's going to stop and shoot. She's got it. Nice shot by Jada Young. That's 5 for her here in the early going. Jefferson coming right back. McGovern Harrington at the point, picked up by Emery Thury. She gives it over to Larson. Larson to Watkins at the point. Watkins over to McGovern Harrington, and they give a skip pass to Larson. Larson shoots, no good. Rebound comes down to McGovern Harrington. Left-hand dribble into the paint. She goes up, and she's going to get the roll. She's got 5 points on the day. Arrows coming back, and should be out of bounds on Sioux Falls Jefferson. So once again, that pesky, quick defense of Sioux Falls Jefferson. And we're going to have a timeout on the court called by the Watertown Arrows. So fast and furious first period, as we expected, of two teams that like to get up and down the court. Arrows up 9 to Sioux Falls Jefferson 6. Arrows have 3 turnovers here in the early going, and Jefferson has 1 turnover. Our production crew today, we've got a fully led student production crew today from the Watertown High School. On our camera, Kyle Gall, camera number 2, is our courtside camera. Spencer Remmers, Carter Miller is on a courtside camera, our video switchboard. JJ Hernandez, video board graphics. Katie Liederbrand, control room is Carter Remmers, and we are directed by Parker Remmers tonight. Rhodey at the top of the key to Corey. In that right perimeter, back to Jada Young. Jada left-hand dribble, gives it over to Thury. Thury over to Lund on that left perimeter. Lund tries to get by Dunn. Dunn gets the steal, and she's going to go all the way. Corey defending, and does get the steal from Dunn, and it goes off her, an Arrow ball. It's a nice defensive work there by the sophomore. Jada Young aggressively picked up by Watkins, and Watkins does draw the offensive of Jada Young. So that will be Young's first foul. (9-6) here, the first period, 2:21 remaining. The Arrows have 4 team fouls to the Cavaliers 2 team fouls. Horner over in that right side, guarded by Corey, and we have a foul. That foul is going to be called on number 12, Jada Young. So that's her second foul. Inbound to McGovern-Harrington, and then back down underneath to Abby Horner, and she gets her first bucket. Corey brings it up the court. She's going to get it across that 10-second line. Picks up, little trouble, gets it to Paulson. Paulson to Rhodey. And we have an over and back call on the Arrows. Johnson is going to take the ball at the point, picked up by Jada Young, gives it over to the right side of Horner. Horner back to Johnson. Johnson to Horner. Horner with the right-hand dribble on the baseline, stopped by Thury, gets it back out, tries to get into Dunn, does. Dunn dishes it back out to Horner, who shoots a 3, no good. And a reverse layup, nice by Abby Horner. She's a 5'9" freshman with that reverse layup. So well done by the freshman there. Back in the other end, Thury drives, right-hand floater, no good. Dunn is going to get, Thury tips it out of bounds, so off of the Arrows. Miranda Falconer is going to come back in for Grace Corey, so Grace will take a break. Johnson is going to be at the point here for Sioux Falls Jefferson. She will be picked up by Jada Young. To Horner. Horner left-hand dribble, now gives it back to Silvernail. Silvernail to Johnson. Johnson to Dunn down there at that short corner. Gives it back to Silvernail, and Dunn playing a little catch there on that left perimeter. Now they swing it all the way over to Watkins. Watkins with the baseline drive. She goes up, no good. Jada Young comes down with the rebound. So Jada's getting some nice rebounds here today. Emery Thury with the floater, no good. Gets her own rebound, and she gets 2. So for her first bucket of the day. 11-10, Arrows up with 26 seconds remaining. It looks like Watkins is going to try and get the last shot. The shot clock is turned off here. Watkins picked up by Falconer there at the point. To Horner, back to Watkins. Watkins left-hand drive, left-hand floater, no good. Rebound Thury. Jada Young is going to give it a shove, no good. So after one, we've got a fast furious, aggressive game. Teams running up and down the court, and a close one here. The Arrows 11 and the Cavaliers 10, just as we expected on their home court. The Watertown Arrows are confident. They play with confidence on their home court, and you're seeing it here tonight. And they are staying with your #1 ranked Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers here in the early going. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
There you go, no switch. Oh, come on. Hey, they did it, they did it, they did it. Take off, they're going out. Yeah. Bro, that whistle was like unnecessarily loud.
And we're back. Start of the second period. The Arrows have possession here. Rhodey at the top, gives it over to Young. Young into the paint with a floater. She's got it. It's her 7th point on the night. 13-10, Arrows up. McGovern-Harrington now at the top of the key, gets it over to Larson. Larson to Johnson, back to McGovern-Harrington. Back to Larson. Larson right-hand dribble over to Johnson. Johnson looks to shoot, picked up. 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and steal by Watertown Arrows. Turnover. Feed it down to Falconer. She goes up with the right hand. She gets the roll. Miranda Falconer's got 4 on the night. Jefferson looks to come right back quickly, and they do with McGovern-Harrington. She gives it over to Watkins. Watkins right-hand dribble at the point. Looking to set up the offense. She does back to McGovern-Harrington. And now over to Dunn, who's at the perimeter. And a long shot by McGovern-Harrington, and she gets the 3. It's her 8th point on the evening. Young across that 10-second line. Falconer on the left perimeter. She's going to right-hand dribble. She is guarded by McGovern-Harrington. She puts up the shot, no good. And Thury goes in for the rebound. And we have a tie-up between Thury and Watkins. Both of them a little bit slow to get up, but it looks like they're going to be okay. Thury is going to take a seat, and so is Watkins. So the coaches are going to pull them, make sure they're okay. It looks like both are, so they'll just take a breather here. Jefferson with the ball. McGovern-Harrington across that 10-second line, picked up by Jada Young over to the left perimeter of Larson, now into the corner. Horner takes the shot, no good. Jade Lund gets the rebound. Jada Young's going to push it up the court. She's picked up by Dunn there at the point, over to Lund on the right perimeter. A cutting Rhodey, no good. To Falconer, now they swing it to the left side where Young is there. Young sees a cutting Rhodey. Out of bounds on Dunn, so Dunn gets a hand in that passing lane and off of her, so the Arrows will inbound it on the left side of their basket. Young gets it to Jada Lund. Jada picks up her dribble and quickly gets it to Rhodey. Rhodey in the paint, she's spin move, and ball stolen from Rhodey. They got numbers, Jefferson does, but nice defensive action by Jada Young on Johnson, and Johnson ends up double dribbling. It was a 3-on-2 action, but Jada Young was able to get the turnover there. Rhodey on that left perimeter. She's going to take the shot, and she's got it. Arrow bullseye! Maddie Rhodey, that's her 5th point on the evening. 18-13. That sweet stroke as we see that replay. So here in the early going, Arrows up 18-13 with 5 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the second period as we look at some scores down in Sioux Falls at the home of the Cavaliers. The Watertown Arrow boys are playing down there, and at the end of the first half, they are down 30-24. The Arrow boys are on a hot streak right now, so they are within 6 points of the number one Sioux Falls Jefferson boys. Back here in the Civic Arena, we're going to have a foul called. Maddie Rohde with the body. So there'll be an inbound on the sideline. So it could be inbounded to Watkins. Watkins over to the right side of McGovern Harrington and to Horner. Nice shot, no good. And rebound, tough fought after rebound. Jada Young, she's got it. She's bringing it back hard, and she goes inside with the right-handed Euro step layup. Jada Young, 9 points for Young. McGovern Harrington at the point. It's it over to Larson. Larson with the three-pointer. She's going to match it. Her first bucket of the night. She's got 3 points. Jade Lund picks up her dribble there in the front court. Gets it over to Jada Young. Jada to Paulson on the left perimeter. Now to Corey at the right perimeter. Corey with the drive. She's got the layup, and she gets the roll. Grace Corey with 2 points. Jefferson pushing it right up the court to Aaliyah McGovern Harrington, the 5'5" junior guard. They give it over to the perimeter. A shot up by Larson, no good, but we do get a rebound by Sioux Falls Jefferson. And a foul was called on Sierra Watkins there. Jada Young splits the defenders, gets across the timeline. Over to Lund, the left perimeter. Lund again. Sees help, gets it to Thury. Thury to Corey. Corey, left-hand dribble, gets it to Thury. Thury on that baseline, gets it across to Jada. Jada to Lund. Lund at the perimeter, gets it to Corey, and miscommunication and turnover by the Arrows. So the Arrows up 22-18 with 3:39 remaining. They get it into Dunn, and they're in the paint, and they do get it back out to Watkins. No good. Long rebound is by Jada Young. Jada's going to go up for it, and good defensive action by Aaliyah McGovern Harrington, and goes out of bounds off of her. So the Arrows will maintain possession underneath their basket. They're going to be on the right side. Jada Young is going to inbound it. Avery Munger back in on the court for the Arrows, and they get it to Thury there in the paint. Thury goes up, no good. And going after the rebound was Munger and Horner, and looked like Horner was in front, but they do say the ball is off of the Arrows, so Jefferson will take possession. To Dunn. Three-pointer by Silvernail, no good, and foul is going to be called on Sioux Falls Jefferson. That is Abby Horner's first foul. Maddie Rohde is going to check in for Grace Corey. Faulkner is going to inbound. Again, Jefferson in that full court press. They do get it to Rohde, and they try and trap there. They do have her somewhat trapped, but she gets it to Faulkner. Arrows have numbers. Now Jefferson gets back. Young with the three, no good. And off of the Arrows. So Avery Munger fighting tough underneath. and it just happens to go off of the Arrows. Watkins across that 10-second line. She's picked up by Maddie Rohde. It's it over to McGovern-Harrington. Back to Watkins. 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in this first half. Watkins with the left-hand dribble, and she gets in the lane, and she does get that roll. So Watkins with their first bucket of the day. Rohde is guarded aggressively by McGovern-Harrington. We've seen that all night. Rohde picks up her dribble, looking to a swing pass or skip pass, and it's picked off by Watkins. Watkins goes up with the shot, and she is going to get fouled. So she gets the shot and the foul. So Faulkner is going to pick up her second foul. Watkins, the 5'7" senior guard, is going to go to the line. She's a 57% free throw shooter, and she gets the first one to go, or actually the conventional three-point then. So she has got 5 points on the day. And the Cavaliers take the lead, 23-22. Thury on that perimeter. And they call Thury with the offensive foul there. Let's see this on replay. No, she didn't extend or anything, I think, on that replay. Watkins fell down, but that doesn't matter when it's called. So Jefferson looking to get something going. Silvernail at that left perimeter. Gets it to Watkins. Watkins to McGovern-Harrington. Skip pass, down low. Thury knocks it out of bounds. They were trying to get it down to the 5'9" freshman, but Thury does knock it out of bounds. So Jefferson's going to inbound it on the left side of their basket, and she does get it into Watkins. Now to McGovern-Harrington. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Now Dunn. And they're going to call a foul. On the Arrows. And they're going to call that on Kendall Paulson. So Dunn is going to go to the line. She only has 1 point on the evening. Make it 2. So Jaden Dunn, the future Jackrabbit, she is a 70% free throw shooter. Jade Lund's going to check in for the Arrows for Emery Thury. Second one is up, and she gets both those. So she's got 3 points, all on free throws here in the first half. Jada Young gets it across that 10-second line to Faulkner on the right perimeter. Faulkner left-hand dribble. She's in the paint. Gets it to Rohde. Rohde right hand. And she goes up, and Rohde is going to be fouled, and she is going to go to the line. Maddie Rohde, a senior for the Arrows. She is a 64% free throw shooter. That foul was called on Silvernail. First one's up and good. So Rohde with her 6th point on the night. Grace Corey is going to check in for Miranda Faulkner. 52 seconds left here in the second period. Second one's up and no good. Dunn gets the rebound. She's going to push it up the court. Gets it over to Watkins. Watkins to the corner where Horner's at. Horner right-hand dribble and brings it to the point. Gets it back to Dunn. Dunn's out there quite a ways. Finally gets it to Watkins. Watkins going to set up this offense. Over to Horner. Horner to McGovern-Harrington. Back to Horner. And Horner travels. So the Arrows will take possession. .25-23 here. 29 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock is off. Inbound goes to Jada Young. Jada is picked up by Watkins. She gets it to Lund, left perimeter. Lund gets it to Rohde. Rohde with the shot, and she gets it. Three-pointers up, and no good, and Avery Munger gets the rebound. So at the half, the officials choose not to call a foul there on the desperation heave of Jada Young. So that is how the first half is going to end. We're going to end in a 25-25 tie here. This is a good one in the Watertown Civic Arena. You can feel the energy by both teams. You can feel the energy in the crowd. We're going to take a break, catch our breath here, and we will be back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. We've got a good one here with a tie ball game of 25-25 between the Arrows and Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers, the #1 ranked team in AA in South Dakota. So let's break down, see what we've got for the first half. After quarter number 1, Watertown led 11-10. And in quarter number 2, very even scoring again, both teams at 25-25. So 14 points for the Arrows and 15 points for Jefferson in that second quarter. Aaliyah McGovern-Harrington ends the first half with 8 points. Sierra Watkins, the Dakota State University commit, ends the first half with 5 points. Cassidy Larson, the 5'4" senior guard, ends the first half with 3 points on a three-pointer. Jaden Dunn, the Arrows have done a phenomenal job on her tonight and has held her to only 3 points, all 3 of them coming from the free throw line. Number 13, Abby Horner, she's a freshman, and she has scored 6 points on the night on 3 buckets. So 5 players for Sioux Falls Jefferson in the scoring column. And off the bench is Horner with 6 points. The Arrows on the other side have 8 points from Maddie Rohde. She's got 1 bullseye in there this evening. Emery Thury has a bucket, so for 2 points. Jada Young, she's had a nice first half on both the offensive and the defensive sides. And she has got, as I said, 9 points, and 1 of those being a bullseye. Miranda Falconer, 4 points. And Grace Corey off the bench with 2. The Arrows end the first half with 7 turnovers in comparison to the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers with 4 points. So Sioux Falls Jefferson's pesky defense right away did cause some problems for the Arrows, but as we expected and we thought they would, the Arrows settled down and gathered themselves, played within themselves, and cut down on their turnovers. As we said in the pregame, the Cavaliers average having their opponents turn over the ball nearly 21 times a game. So the Arrows are doing well in that category and taking care of the ball on their side. As we look at our scores around the state, down in Sioux Falls Jefferson is up on Watertown right now, 43-23 with 3 minutes left in the third. In girls action across the state, Sioux Falls O'Gorman leads Sioux Falls Lincoln 71-35. Actually, that's going to be a final. So O'Gorman defeats Sioux Falls Lincoln 71-35. Low scoring affair in Huron right now, where number 3 ranked Pierre is playing Huron, and Pierre is up 16-9 in the second quarter. Down in Mitchell at the world's only Corn Palace, Mitchell is up 30-28 over Aberdeen Central. And a battle going on in Brandon Valley between Brandon Valley, who received votes this past week, against number 2 Sioux Falls Washington. Brandon Valley is up 42-36 with 5 minutes left in the fourth period. As we go west of the river, Spearfish visiting Sturgis tonight, and they are up on Sturgis 28-12. So those are your AA girls scores as we look around the state. One minute before we remain or start play again in the second half. We'll be back. And welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. Sioux Falls Jefferson is going to start with Aaliyah McGovern-Harrington, Sierra Watkins, Cassidy Larson, Jaden Dunn, and Ashlyn Johnson. The Arrows counter on the other side with Miranda Falconer, Jada Young, Emery Thury, Kendall Paulson, and Maddie Rohde. Falconer is going to inbound, and they are going to try and deny the ball into Young.
Hey, you want to come trade with me or what? You want 81 with me or what?
They do get it into Young. There's a conversation going on the other side between Coach Rohde and one of the officials. Not sure what's going on there to begin the half. Rohde on the left perimeter. She stopped to, now gives it to Paulson. Paulson picks up her dribble, tries a skip pass, and stolen by Jefferson. They give it to the other side, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Sierra Watkins. So that's going to be Watkins' second foul on the evening.
Yeah, I got her.
Jefferson coming out in that full court press. And they get it into Jada Young. Jada is picked up by Watkins. Jada gets it across that 10-second line. Watkins and Jada, one going to Mitchell, one going to Madison. I don't know if they know it or not, but Dakota Wesleyan and Dakota State are rivals. So they are going to play against each other for at least 4 more years when they go to college. Steal by Jefferson. And steal back by the Arrows. Jada Young, and it's going to be off of her foot, and Jefferson will take possession. Watkins is going to bring the ball up the court, and she is going to be picked up by Young. Watkins, one of those girls that's played many years of AAU basketball in the offseason. And we have a foul called down low. They try to get the ball into Dunn. Maddie Rohde is going to be called for her second foul on the day. Johnson's going to inbound on the right side of the court. And she gets it in to Watkins. Watkins gets it out to McGovern-Harrington. Now down into Larson. Larson gets the roll. So Larson gets her 5th point on the day. Emery Thury brings it right back up the court, and she's picked up by Johnson. Gets it over to Paulson. Paulson to Jada Young on that left perimeter. Back to the point where Falconer's at. She tries to thread the needle into Paulson, but no good. Thury takes the paint. Left-hand floater, no good. Dunn gets the rebound, and they are going to call Jada Young with the reach-in foul on Dunn. Inbounded to Watkins. Watkins been picked up by Young. Young's got 3 fouls. She is going to have to be careful. Tries to get it into Dunn. Thury doing a nice job on her tonight. They get it out to McGovern-Harrington. She shoots, no good. Paulson with the rebound. Paulson uses a dribble up, gets it to Jada Young. Jada with the left-hand dribble. She's going to go in the paint. She tries to get Faulkner on the right corner, and Larson gets a hand in that passing lane, and it goes out of bounds off of Sioux Falls Jefferson. So the Arrows will inbound it there on the sideline. Looking. Gets it into Rohde. No, it is a turnover. Dunn. She's long, lean, and Dunn takes it down to the other end, and Maddie Rohde tries to get the strip, and they're going to call Maddie Rohde with the foul. So both seniors in Rohde and Young with 3 personal fouls. 2 girls that the Arrows really don't want to have in foul trouble. Dunn has her 4th free throw of the night. Jade Lund is going to check in for Emery Thury. Second one's up, and Dunn gets her 5th point. Again, all on free throws tonight. She's a 70% free throw shooter, and she's doing well. Young across the 10-second line to Lund on the left perimeter. Lund is guarded by Dunn and tries to get it to Jada. Jada saves it, but turnover by Sioux Falls Jefferson, and now a turnover right back. And the Arrows get that turnover. Miranda Falconer, a nice, nifty work underneath, dribble. She gets the shot, gets her own rebound, gets it to Jade Lund. Now to Paulson. Paulson, no good. Maddie Rohde with the shot. She goes up and no good, and goes out of bounds off of Sioux Falls Jefferson. Checking in is Abby Horner, the freshman, and Ella Silvernail, a 5'11 senior forward. Jada Young will inbound on the left side, or right side of her basket. She gets it into Jade Lund. Jade Lund's going to shoot, no good. Watkins and Jada Young are definitely competing tonight. Both of them are great competitors. Both of them want to win. Both of them very good basketball players. So that is something to watch. If you just want to watch those two, they are spirited competitors. They go to Dunn, now out to Watkins. Watkins to Horner. Horner out to Larson. Larson with the three-pointer. She gets it. It's her second three. Larson is a 32% three-point shooter, so the Cavaliers are opening up a little bit of lead here, 32-25. The Arrows need a basket. And timeout by Coach Rohde, a good timeout as well, as Jade Lund was trying to get out of that, and just after he called the timeout, she let the pass go and it hit the side of the glass and would have went out of bounds. But it is moot because Coach Rohde did call the timeout. So we look at the Watertown cheerleaders trying to keep the crowd into it tonight. The cheerleaders are led by cheer coach Mallory Hoffman. In the early going of this third quarter, Sioux Falls Jefferson has come out in another gear, a faster gear than what they were playing in that first quarter. Again, the Arrows, as we anticipate, will adjust to this, settle down, and it starts off by getting a bucket here on their end. They are going to inbound it. And on the court for the Arrows out of this timeout is Jada Young, Jade Lund, Maddie Rohde, Olivia Corey, and Kendall Paulson. Jada Young is going to inbound it on the right side of her basket. She gets it to Rohde. Rohde's in the paint, gets it to Young. Young right-hand dribble to Rohde. That right perimeter. Rohde to Jade Lund at the perimeter. Not a lot going on. Corey with the right-hand dribble. Gives it to Lund. Lund with the shot. No good. Corey tries to come up with the rebound, but Silvernail had position on her and did get that rebound. Dunn on the other side gets it to Horner. Horner's down low against Paulson. Horner gives it out. No good. Corey with the rebound. Outlet to Jada Young. Jada Young's got numbers, 3-on-2. They give it to Rohde for a three. She misses. And long rebound that is tracked down by Jada Young to Lund. Jada Young sees an opening, and she goes in with the left-hand layup. So she's got 11 on the night. 32-27 with 3:16 left in the third quarter. Watkins at the top gives it over to Silvernail. Silvernail now given to Horner. Horner back to Silvernail, and we are at the top with Larson. Over to Silvernail, down low to Dunn. Dunn with the left hand, no good. And fight for the rebound, and they're going to call a jump ball. So Dunn tries to go up with that left hand, no good. And fight for the ball. Emery Thury is going to check back in, as is McGovern Harrington and Johnson, Ashlyn Johnson for Jefferson. Johnson is going to inbound it. And she does get it into Watkins. Watkins is guarded by Corey. Now to Johnson. Top of the key. Arrows. Corey gets the rebound. And foul is going to be called on Ashlyn Johnson. It's going to be Johnson's second. Young, like they have been all night, guarded by Watkins. Gives it to Thury on that right perimeter. Thury is guarded by Johnson, sees Corey cutting. Tries to thread the needle, no good. Jefferson comes right back, jump stop, no good. And Corey gets the rebound, quick outlet to Rohde. Rohde's going to drive, and she gets it. 10 points for Maddie Rohde, 32-29 here. Loose ball is picked up by Corey, gives it to Young. Young down to Thury, and Thury is stripped. So we've got a flurry of turnovers there. I think each team had a turnover. And then we end up getting a foul called on Sierra Watkins, so that's her third personal. (32-29), Cavaliers up here with 1:47 remaining in the third period. Faulkner is going to inbound, and she does get it into Jada Young. Jada is going to be picked up by McGovern Harrington. To Corey in the short corner. Corey tries to dribble in, no good. Gets it back to Jada Young. Jada over to Faulkner. Faulkner with the shot. She's got it. Big shot by Miranda Faulkner. That's her 6th point on the night, 32-31. Arrows, as I said, they regain composure and coming right back to the quickness and adjusting to the quickness of Sioux Falls Jefferson. Larson. Arrows now running in a zone, a 2-3 zone. McGovern Harrington looking to get something going. 7 seconds left on the shot clock. They get it to McGovern Harrington for the 3, no good. And Dunn is underneath. She gets the rebound, and she is fouled. Jade Lund is called for that foul. That's her first. It is the Arrows' 4th team foul, and Sioux Falls Jefferson has 3 team fouls. Larson underneath on the right side of her basket, going to inbound it, and she does to Johnson. McGovern Harrington at the top, gets it over to Larson. Back to McGovern Harrington. 44 seconds left in this quarter. They get it low to Johnson. Johnson working on Corey. Over the basket, and steal by Jefferson. So both teams are battling. Both teams are giving it everything they've got. Sioux Falls Jefferson, I don't believe, expected to come into the Watertown Civic Arena and be given this much of a trouble. But we who have watched the Arrows all year expect expected this type of game. Grace Corey on the wing goes in with the right-hand drive, and she is fouled as she goes up for the shot. So Grace Corey, the 5'6" sophomore forward, will go to the line. She is a 52% free throw shooter. She does average 5.1 points per game. First one's up, and she gets the roll. So that's her third point on the evening. Addie Johnston checks in for the first time tonight. Addie Johnston, number 3, a 5'6" junior guard. She averages 2.9 points per game, and she's a 40% three-point shooter and 83% free throw shooter. Corey's second shot's up, no good. And it does go off of Emery Thury as she was battling for that rebound. Dunn. Back to Larson. 6 seconds remaining. And they're going to get to the corner. Larson there at the deep wing. Try to Dunn down low. And no good. Dunn does go up for the shot, but it's a block by the Arrows. So after 3, we have a score of 32-32. That first couple of minutes of this third period was fast, furious, as has been the whole game, but turnovers seemed to be happening quite quickly. As we look at the turnover margin, the Arrows are sitting at 12 turnovers on the night, while Jefferson is at 8. So both teams score 7 points in the third quarter. The fourth one, no doubt, will be another good one. As we've seen, both teams playing everything, giving everything they've got. A lot of energy out there on the court. We'll be back in just a moment. Eight minutes left of this game. The Arrows are looking for that major statement win of the season. They have played a lot of the state's top teams very, very close, and they are looking to take one from Sioux Falls Jefferson tonight. They do come out in this fourth quarter playing zone. McGovern-Harrington with the three-pointer, no good. And shooting in for that rebound is Larson. She gets her 10th point on the night. Jada Young gets it across that 10-second line. Larson guarding her. Young goes in for the shot. No good. No foul called. Back at the other end. So 4 quick points there. Watkins gets 2, her 7th point on the day. Rhodey across that 10-second line. And Rhodey is called for the offensive foul on Harrington. It's going to be Rhodey's 4th personal. So the crowd not happy with that call. Of course, Sioux Falls Jefferson's crowd is. Get to the corner, and they're going to get into Dunn. Dunn outlets it to Watkins. Watkins with the 3, no good. Jada Young with the rebound to Rhodey. Rhodey picks up her dribble, gets it back to Jada Young. Jada with the right-hand dribble to Thury on that right perimeter. Thury now is picked up by Harrington. Thury with the floater, no good. Jefferson gets it right back down. Larson. And she is tied up by Miranda Falconer and jump ball. So the Arrows will, possession arrow points to the Arrows, so they are going to get possession. They need to get 2 here. They do get it into Young. Young's going to be picked up right away by Watkins. She gets it across that 10-second line. Young with left-hand dribble to Rohde on that left perimeter. Rohde left-hand dribble into the paint. She shoots, no good. And off of Rohde as she tried to get that rebound. So Sioux Falls Jefferson will inbound here. And they're going to get it to McGovern Harrington, the 5'5" junior guard. And Jada Young does get the steal from McGovern Harrington. It's their 9th turnover. Faulkner with the shot, and no good. Thury with the rebound. She outlets it to Jada. Jada picks up her dribble, sees Rohde cutting, and it is going to go off of McGovern Harrington. Grace Corey checks in for Emery Thury. And Corey is blocked.
Check the score. They didn't? They're betting they didn't.
McGovern Harrington in the right perimeter, picked up by Corey. And jump stop, no good. Corey with the rebound. She's going to be trapped right there. She does get it to Jada Young. And Young is going to be fouled by Watkins. That's going to be Watkins' 4th personal. That is not somebody that Jefferson wants fouled, but Coach Pruitt of Sioux Falls Jefferson pleading her case to the official, still letting the official have it. Still letting him have it. Does not like that call. Faulkner, left-hand dribble to Young. Young is fouled on the 3. So Jada Young's going to go to the line. Silvernail is called for that foul. And they're saying it was not on the shot. So they've changed that to on the side. So they will inbound, the Arrows will, on the side. Rohde on the right perimeter. Sees Jada down low. Jada with the shot. She's got it. She's got 13 points. Jefferson comes right back up. Gets it out to the perimeter of McGovern Harrington and at the point. So McGovern Harrington gets over the left side with Larson. And Miranda Faulkner is called for the foul. Both teams getting a little bit chippy, and that is the competitive nature of both of these teams. Both teams are here. They are competing. They want to win. Dunn to Silvernail. Shots up. No good. McGovern Harrington with the rebound. Goes up for the shot. No good. Larson gets it and brings it back out. She's going to be at the point. And now the Arrows get the steal. Maddie Rohde bringing it down. And she goes underneath. She is fouled by Larson. So that's going to be Larson's first foul. And Maddie Rohde should go to the line here. Rohde's first one up and is good. That's her 11th point on the evening. Maddie Rohde, a 64% free throw shooter. Kendall Paulson checks out. Emery Thury checks in. Rohde's second shot's up off the front of the rim. 36-35. Cavaliers up by 1 here with 4:17 remaining in this fourth period. McGovern Harrington at the top gets it over to Larson. Larson right-hand dribble over to Silvernail, now to the corner where Johnson's at. Johnson trying to get it into Dunn, and timeout is called by Coach Pruitt of Sioux Falls Jefferson.
crazy. He went on. Look at him.
As both teams come back into the court, we've got a battle here, folks, in the Watertown Civic Arena. And here on Arrow TV, we're glad you're with us. We hope you're enjoying this broadcast, but also more so enjoying the game that we have on the court between the #1 ranked Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers and the Watertown Arrows. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Shots up, no good, and scramble, loose ball, and they're going to call Miranda Faulkner with the foul. She went after it. Ashlyn Johnson went after it, and Faulkner is going to pick up her 4th personal foul. This is going to put Ashlyn Johnson at the line. Ashlyn Johnson will be there for a 1-and-1, and she is a 57% free throw shooter. She averages 8.9 points per game. And she misses that front end. Rebound, Arrows. Jade Lund on the right perimeter. Now to Jada. Jada spin move. She's going to see the opening. She goes in, and Dunn, Jaden Dunn, the 6-foot junior forward, does block Jada Young's shot. So 2 collegiate athletes, future collegiate athletes, going after each other, and that time Dunn comes out with the block. Rhodey behind the back, shoots, and she's going to be fouled, and that should be on McGovern-Harrington. Yes, that is a good call. So that's going to put Maddie Rhodey back to the line. 5'7" senior guard. And she misses the front end. Rebound, Sioux Falls Jefferson. Watkins at the point, picked up by Jada Young. She gets it over to Larson on that left perimeter. McGovern-Harrington down to Dunn. Dunn outlets it to Larson. Larson shoots, no good. And it hits the top, so that is going to be possession, Arrows. Kendall Paulson checks back into the game. Rhodey on the left perimeter. To Jada Young. Jada with the 3. No good. And out of bounds on the Arrows. So excellent hustle by Emery Thury and Kendall Paulson, both of them giving everything they've got for that rebound. They were being boxed out. They're working through that, and it does go off of them. So we're seeing a hard-fought basketball game on both sides here tonight in the Watertown Civic Arena. Jefferson on the left perimeter gets it to Larson there in the corner. Larson back to McGovern-Harrington. Now back to Larson. Larson gets it into Dunn. Dunn right-hand dribble, and it is stripped by Jada Young, and it does go off of Dunn's leg and out. So Jada Young knew that one immediately. The officials saw it, and good call on the officials. Faulkner gonna inbound it to Thury. Thury's picked up by Johnson. Johnson playing aggressive defense. Thury gets it across that 10-second line. And Johnson is called for the foul. Again, Coach Pruitt doesn't like it. It's going to send Emery Thury to the free throw line. Emery Thury is a 63% free throw shooter. Emery's got 2 points on the night, looking to add to that. First one's up and good. Smooth shot by Emery Thury, the 5'10" sophomore point guard. She does average 6.3 points per game. Next one's up and good. So she gets them both. for 4 points. The Arrows take back the lead at 37-36. 2 minutes remaining here in this juggernaut in the arena. McGovern-Harrington is blocked by Thury. Jada Young bringing it up the court. She is picked up by McGovern-Harrington. Now over to Rohde. Rohde picked up by Watkins. Rohde loses her dribble, gets it back to Jada Young. 1:42 left, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. Arrows need to maintain their composure, take care of the ball. Rohde goes in for the shot, and she is fouled. So as we could see on this rebound, she goes into the paint, goes up, and if the Jefferson player was not set, that would be a foul. So McGovern-Harrington picks up her second. Maddie Rohde with the shot, no good. Rohde will try and get the second. And just off the front of the rim. Jefferson comes right back. McGovern-Harrington gets it out to Larson. Larson to Johnson. Back to Larson, the right perimeter. Dunn and Paulson working tough in there. Rebound by Watkins. No good. She gets the rebound again. No good. Rohde comes down with the rebound. Pruitt is mad. The Jefferson players are up, and they're going to call Maddie Rohde with the offensive foul. That is going to be her 5th foul. She is going to finish the night with 11 points. Grace Corey will check in for Maddie Rohde. She had a nice game. She gave everything she got. And now with a minute left, and the Arrows up by 1. We'll see what Jefferson is going to work on here. Over to Larson, the left perimeter. McGovern-Harrington back to Larson. Now Dunn, and they give it out to Watkins. Watkins with the drive, left-hand shot. That was pretty. She's got 9 points on the day, so now the Cavaliers take the lead 38-37 with 51.2 seconds remaining. So we look at our foul situation here. Sierra Watkins for Sioux Falls Jefferson has 4 personal fouls. She's really the only one on Sioux Falls Jefferson's side that is in any type of foul trouble. As we go over to the Arrow side, we just saw Maddie Rohde foul out with her 5th foul. Jada Young, she has 3 fouls on the evening. Miranda Falconer, she's got 4 personal fouls. No one else on the Arrow side has or is in any foul trouble. So the Arrows will have possession here with 51 seconds remaining. On the court, Miranda Falconer, Jada Young, Kendall Paulson, Grace Corey, and Emery Thury for the Arrows. McGovern-Harrington and Watkins, and they're calling a foul. And that is going to be Sierra Watkins' 5th foul tonight. They're going to talk about it. They changed their call to McGovern-Harrington, but that is going to send Jada Young to the line. Jada Young is a 74% free throw shooter. First one's up and short off the front of the rim. So the Arrows have had some opportunities here in this fourth quarter with free throws. It's time to change the tide here at the Charity Stripe. It's up, and it's good. So 14 points for Jada Young, 38-38 with 48 seconds remaining. 30 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Watkins at the point, picked up by Young. Now over to Johnson. Dunn working down low. McGovern-Harrington does get it into Dunn. She's picked up. They get it out to Larson. Larson with the three. No good. Grace Corey with the rebound to Paulson. Paulson gets it to Jada Young. She's picked up over there by Faulkner. Faulkner with the three. No good. Grace Corey with the shot. No good. Flurry of action down there. Arrows working hard. Now we're going to send Sierra Watkins to the line. 14 seconds remaining. Scores tied 38-38. Watkins, 57% free throw shooter. It's up, no good. Grace Corey with the rebound. Grace Corey gets across that 10-second line, and Coach Rohde calls a timeout. So 38-38, 6.7 seconds remaining here. Both coaches are going to draw up their best play. Of course, on the offensive side of the Arrows, they're going to draw up their best offensive play that Coach Rohde has in his playbook. And Coach Pruitt on the other side is going to talk about not fouling. That is not what she wants her team to do right now, play aggressive defense without the foul. And the Arrows looking to get a good shot here with 6.7 seconds remaining. Cavaliers have 2 timeouts left, and the Arrows also with 2 timeouts remaining. So the Arrows should inbound on that side right in front of the scorer's table. The Arrows are going to bring out onto the court Jada Young, Emery Thury, Grace Corey, Miranda Faulkner, and Kendall Paulson. Miranda Faulkner is going to inbound. And Sioux Falls Jefferson sees something they don't like, and Coach Pruitt calls a timeout. So she's going to talk about a few more things. It looks like her assistant coach is drawing up something on the board. The Arrows do not need a long perimeter shot. They just need something they're going to try, I would assume, to get a high percentage shot or draw that foul down there in the paint. We'll see who they bring out onto the court for this last final play at 38 with the score tied, 38-38. And it is going to be Paulson, Corey, Thury, Young, and Faulkner. And now Coach Rohde changes up his play. Jefferson comes out with Dunn guarding Faulkner. They're going to try and deny this. They get it into Young. Young with the shot. No good. Corey with the shot. No good. And we're going to overtime, folks. 38-38. Guarantee you Sioux Falls Jefferson wasn't expecting to come into the Watertown Civic Arena and play extra bonus basketball, but that's exactly what they're getting here tonight. So as we look at this fifth period, we need to talk about where we're at with some players, as Sioux Falls Jefferson, Aaliyah McGovern-Harrington has 3 fouls. Sierra Watkins has 4 fouls. And that's going to be really everyone on Sioux Falls Jefferson's side that is in any type of foul trouble. The Arrows on the other side, as we know, Maddie Rohde has fouled out in that fourth period. Jada Young has 3 fouls, and Miranda Falconer has 4 fouls. And that would be the only players on the Arrow side that are in any type of foul trouble. So we are going to have a jump to start this fifth period. Thury and Dunn will jump just as they did at the beginning of tonight. And Dunn wins that tip. Johnson to Watkins. Watkins going to be guarded by Jada Young. Gives it over to Larson. Larson guarded by Falconer. Gets it to McGovern-Harrington. Corey picks her up at the point. She goes deep into that backcourt. Gets it to Watkins. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. And she drives in, and she gets the 2 points. So Watkins with her 11th point. Corey gets it across that timeline. And ball is stolen. .40-38, 3 minutes remaining here in the fifth period. And three-pointer is good by McGovern-Harrington. It's her 11th point. Jada Young, bring it down. Corey to Falconer to Thury. Thury sees the lane. She drives. No good. Rebound. No, they're going to call a foul on Thury. So 43-38 with 2:48 remaining here in period number 5. And this is going to send McGovern-Harrington to the line. So Aaliyah is a 55% free throw shooter. She averages 8 points per game, and she has 11 on the night. She misses her first shot of this double bonus. Jade Lund will check in for Emery Thury. Jade Lund, a three-point shooter. She shoots 26% from that three-point arc. McGovern-Harrington with the shot. Second one's up and no good. And Corey and Dunn fight for it. It does go off of Dunn out of bounds, so the Arrows will maintain possession. Jada Young inbound. She's picked up by McGovern-Harrington. Gets it across that 10-second line to Jade Lund on that left perimeter. Jade Lund dribbles, gives it to Jada Young, and just a little too high. It goes out of bounds. So Jefferson creates a turnover. Watkins brings back, picked up by Young. Over to Larson on that left perimeter. To McGovern-Harrington, down to Dunn, back to Larson. Now to Watkins. Larson down low to Johnson. Johnson, good defense by Kendall Paulson. Paulson, and she tries to feed it up the court, and it is stolen by Larson. So steal by Larson. 1:58 remaining. And the Cavaliers up by 5 right now. Watkins by Young. Now Corey and Larson over in that right perimeter. Over to Watkins. Watkins left-hand dribble, gives it back to Larson. Now to McGovern-Harrington. They are content with up by 5. Now to McGovern-Harrington. She shoots the 3. She gets it. 14 points for McGovern-Harrington. 46-38. Paulson with the shot. No good. Corey and Watkins go at it, and it's a jump ball. So both players giving effort there. Jump ball, and it's going to go on the Arrows side. So now the Arrows take a timeout. Down by 8. A minute 20 left here in this 5th period. Sioux Falls Jefferson did defeat the Watertown Arrow boys tonight, 60-44. Got an upset in Brandon Valley on the girls' side in AA. Sioux Falls Washington is defeated tonight by Brandon Valley, 58-50. And here on the Watertown Civic Arena hard court, the Arrows have given Sioux Falls Jefferson everything that they can handle. And this is what the Arrows have done on their home court. They play well, they play with confidence. It's been a defensive battle tonight. Both the Jefferson Cavaliers and the Arrows can put up points, but both teams have been aggressive and playing some very good defense. Inbound goes to Faulkner. Faulkner with the shot, no good. And we have a jump ball, and they is going to go the possession of Jefferson. Watkins, she gets across that 10-second line. Over to McGovern-Harrington for the 3. Jade Lund comes down with the rebound. She's trapped there, gives it to Jada Young. Jada Young gets it to Corey. Corey to Paulson. Paulson with the 3. No good. Jade Lund fights for it. Watkins comes down with it. 47 seconds remaining. Jada Young picks up Watkins on that left perimeter. Now Corey. Out to McGovern-Harrington. 26 seconds on the shot clock, and the Arrows are going to foul Johnson. So Jada Young picks up that foul. It's her 4th, and thought Johnson was going to go to the line, but it looks like it's going to be McGovern-Harrington. And it's up for her 15th point on the night. Aaliyah McGovern-Harrington, a 5'5" junior guard. She averages 8 points per game, and she's got 15 tonight. And make it 16. Corey into Jada Young. Jada gets across that center stripe. Now to Jade Lund. Jade Lund shoots. Dunn gets the rebound. And Dunn is fouled, and is going to be fouled by Jada Young. So Jada Young is going to foul out tonight with 14 points on the evening. This will send Dunn to the line. Dunn has 5 points on the night. All 5 are from single point free throws. First one's up, and she does miss. She's looking to get her 6th point on that back end of the double bonus. It's up, and she does get that one. So 6 points for Dunn. Faulkner, 25 seconds remaining. 49-38. Faulkner drives in, and she gets the layup. 8 points for Faulkner. Inbound to Dunn, now to Johnson. Over to Watkins. And it looks like the Arrows are going to concede here. And Jefferson is going to escape the Watertown Civic Arena 49-40. What a battle we had here in Watertown at the Civic Arena. It was a good one between the number 1 Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers and the Watertown Arrows. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about this one in just a moment. Welcome back to the Watertown Civic Arena. We just witnessed a hard-fought, well-played game by both teams as far as energy. Both teams took their opposing team out of what they wanted to do and made it a low-scoring affair. As we look back on this one, after quarter number 1, Watertown was up 11-10. At half, they were tied 25-25. After the quarter 3 break, they were tied 32-32. And at the final end of the game, they were tied 38-38. The Arrows had the ball with 6 seconds remaining. They did have an opportunity, 2 shots up, no fouls were called. They were unable to put them in the net. So we went to overtime. And in overtime, Sioux Falls Jefferson got some timely shooting and put up 9 points on the board, 11 points on the board in overtime in comparison to the Arrows, who put up 2 points. So we have a final score of 49-40. Both teams played aggressive defense, and Sioux Falls Jefferson committed 12 turnovers on the night, while the Watertown Arrows committed 14 turnovers on the night. McGovern Harrington, she had herself an outstanding game tonight, both on the defensive end and on the offensive end. She ends the night with 16 points. 8 of those points are in the second half. Sierra Watkins, the Dakota State University commit down there in Madison, she ends the night with 11 points, and we said it in the pregame that she might be the best defender in the state, and we saw the havoc tonight with 11 points. Cassidy Larson, she also had a nice night, especially in that second half. She ends the night with 10 points. 7 of those points came in the second half. But got to give it to the Watertown Arrows defense. Kendall Paulson down low, Emery Thury, Jade Lund, Grace Corey. They held the 6-foot Jaden Dunn to 6 points. And those 6 points all came on free throws. She had 3 points in the first half and 3 points in the second half, all on free throws. Phenomenal defensive effort by the Arrows against her. The freshman for Sioux Falls Jefferson, Abby Horner, she ends the night with 6 points, and those 6 points all came in the first half. On the Watertown Arrows side, Maddie Rohde finished the night with 11 points. She was unable to play in that overtime period as she did foul out in the fourth quarter. She did end up with 1 bullseye in that first half. And so Maddie Rohde finishes the night with 11 points. Emery Thury finishes the night with 4 points. She got 2 points in the first half and 2 points in the second half. Her second half points came off of free throws. Jada Young, she finished the night with 14 points on the night, and she ended up fouling out in the overtime period when the Arrows were fouling to put Jefferson at the charity stripe. Miranda Falconer finishes her night with 8 points, 4 in the first half, 4 in the second half. And Grace Corey rounds out the Arrow scoring with 3 points, 1 bucket, 1 free throw. Your Watertown Arrow player of the game tonight is going to be Jada Young. She played on that defensive side. It was aggressive. I don't know how many rebounds she had on that defensive side or offensive side. That is not a stat that we do keep in up here in the booth. But she played very well on both sides of the court. She was a team high score of 14 points. So Jada Young, the future Dakota Wesleyan University Tiger, is the Watertown Arrow player of the game tonight. Got to give it to our production crew. Our production crew is a good one, and they stayed for some extra bonus basketball tonight. On our main camera, we had Kyle Gall. Our courtside cameras were run by Spencer Remmers and Carter Miller. Video switchboard tonight was JJ Hernandez. Video board graphics, Katie Liederbrand. Control room was Carter Remmers, and our production was directed tonight by Parker Remmers. As we look into the rest of this week here on Arrow TV, Thursday, February 9th, Arrow TV will be broadcasting a wrestling triangular from the Watertown Civic Arena. Brian DeYoung, the Jackrabbit Hall of Famer, will be bringing you the action. And the grappling will begin at 5 p.m. Then on Friday, February 10th at 7 p.m., Arrow TV brings you basketball between the Watertown Arrows and the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders as the boys come into the Watertown Civic Arena to do battle. Brandon Johnson will have the call of that one. We want to thank you for tuning in to Arrow TV. The crew behind the scenes works hard to earn your viewership, and the athletes, band, cheerleaders, and halftime entertainment appreciate your support of Watertown activities. We had a good one tonight. It was close. The Arrows nearly pulled that one out, and it just wasn't to be. The Arrows, though, can take a lot of victory from this and move forward with a lot that they can build from tonight's game. As we end all of our Arrow girls basketball broadcasts, an arrow is like life. So an arrow can only be shot by pulling it backward. So when life is dragging you back with difficulties, it means that it's going to launch you into something great. So just focus and keep aiming. I am Cam Corey, and I bid you a good night.